King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I mean, just listen to that. It's got to be one of the most absolute, most powerful titles ever recorded, right? It just screams total and final authority. There's no room for debate.
But here's the really interesting part. When you hear a title that massive, where do you picture it? Maybe, written across the sky, carved into a giant golden throne? But where the text says it's written is, well, it's way more specific and honestly a little weird to us today. And that's what makes this so fascinating.
So the answer is right there in the full verse, Revelation 19:16. It's describing this victorious rider on a white horse, a figure we understand to be Jesus Christ at his return. And believe me, the location of this name is absolutely key to understanding the whole message.
And there it is. The verse says the name is written on his robe and on his thigh. Okay, that's the part that makes you pause, right? The thigh? It just seems so unexpected. Why on earth there? Well, to get that, we've got to do a little digging. We have to transport ourselves back to the ancient world where this was written.
Yeah, this was no random detail, not at all. In the ancient Near East, putting a name or a symbol on the thigh was a very deliberate, incredibly powerful statement.
The original Greek word here is meron, and really getting a handle on what the thigh represented back then, well, that's the key that unlocks the whole thing. It changes how you see this entire image.
See, the thigh was loaded with meaning. It was seen as the seat of a person's strength, their physical power. It was also the spot where you'd make a sacred, unbreakable oath. We see that in Genesis. It even represented your lineage, the source of your descendants. So to write your name there, that was a massive declaration. It was basically saying, I have absolute ownership, total victory, and ultimate dominion. It's like stamping your name on the very source of power itself.
Okay, so the location is just packed with meaning. It's a huge statement of power. But what about the name itself? What makes King of Kings and Lord of Lords the ultimate title?
All right, let's actually break this incredible title down because it's not just the words. The way it's structured is super important.
The first word, king, comes from the Greek basileus. Pretty straightforward.
And the second part, Lord, comes from Kyrios, which means Lord or Master. Another powerful word all by itself.
But here's the kicker. It's the repetition. King of Kings, Lord of Lords. That's not just for dramatic flair. It's actually a linguistic tool from Semitic languages, and it's used to express the absolute highest form of something, what we'd call the superlative. It means the highest possible rank, the final, ultimate authority. There is no king higher than this king. There is no lord higher than this lord. That's it. Full stop.
And this whole idea wasn't new when Revelation was written. It has super deep roots in the Old Testament. You see it in Deuteronomy, where God is called the God of gods and Lord of lords. You see it in Daniel, a Lord of kings. So the New Testament writers are grabbing this ancient, powerful concept of ultimate divine authority and applying it directly and unmistakably to Jesus.
So let's recap. We have an absolute king with an absolute title written in a place that symbolizes supreme power and a title with a long historical claim to authority. So naturally, you'd think this power was won through, epic battles and glorious conquest, right? Well, this is where the whole story takes a really fascinating and unexpected turn.
Turns out, the source of this ultimate power isn't just about being a mighty warrior. It's actually rooted in a totally different, almost opposite role, the role of a priest.
This brings us to the idea of the priest-king. This is a ruler whose authority doesn't come from taking power, but from giving himself. In places like Psalm 110, we see this connection, where his right to rule flows directly from his sacrifice and his continuous work as an advocate for his people.
And man, this passage from Philippians just nails it. It says, because he humbled himself all the way to death on a cross, that's why God exalted him and gave him the name that is above every other name. His kingship is the direct result of his ultimate sacrifice. It's cause and effect.
Okay, so let's put all these pieces together. We've got the powerful location, the thigh. We have the absolute title, King of Kings. And we have this surprising source of all that power, sacrifice. So, what is this name on the thigh of this victorious rider really declaring?
Well, first, it's declaring a victory that's already been won. Through the cross, he conquered sin and death. Second, it's a declaration of supreme authority, but one that wasn't earned by force. It was earned by love poured out in sacrifice. And third, it points to an ongoing, unchanging job he has. This king reigns because he is also the priest who is constantly interceding for his people.
So here's the big takeaway.
That name on the thigh isn't just some threat of future conquest, of what he's about to do. It's a declaration of a victory that's already been achieved. A victory won through love. It's a symbol of authority that was established not by might, but by sacrifice.
And this leaves us with a really profound idea to chew on. It's a model of power that's completely flipped from what we're used to. It's not about power taken by force, but about authority earned through sacrifice. And so that leaves us with this final thought. What does it really mean for the highest authority in the universe to be rooted not in raw power, but in love?